Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Football and welcome to the Matchday 11 deadline stream. The Champions League season is almost over. This is probably the second last we're doing deadline stream we're doing, but hope you guys are doing well. How are you, Relaxing Central? How are you? It's nice to see you guys. I mean, it's not as busy as obviously the quarterfinals of the round of 16 because you only have 4 teams, so you would expect some of the players who are picked to be picked by nearly everyone, but maybe you could have some differentials in your mind. Let us know. But first, let me go through my team and how it's looking like as we wait for the team news, and also let me know how your teams are looking like. So for me, I made all my 5 transfers. I brought in Danjuma, I brought in Courtois, I also brought in Robertson, I brought in Benzema, and I also brought in De Bruyne. Those are my 5 transfers. So my team right now, Courtois in goal. I have Rulli on the bench. Tomorrow's game, Villarreal playing tomorrow, Courtois playing today. In my back 5, I have Laporte, Robertson, Alexander-Arnold, and those are the only 3 defenders I have. Cancelo is suspended, and Mandava is not in this round, but I couldn't take a hit for it's not a stage to take a hit at all. I don't like taking hits at all in Champions League fantasy, and especially with only 2 rounds remaining. I don't think there's any need unless you're really, really short on players. In my midfield, I have De Bruyne, Salah, Bernardo Silva, Valverde, and Danjuma. So my midfield is okay there. Then up front, I have Benzema, Vinicius, and Luis Diaz. So Man City players, let's remove Cancelo from there. I have Laporte, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva. So 3 Man City players. I have Benzema, Vinicius, Valverde, and Courtois. So 4 Real Madrid players from today's game, 3 Man City players. And tomorrow I have Liverpool players, that's Salah, Robertson, Alexander-Arnold, and Diaz. And I have actually 2 Villarreal players, so Rulli and Danjuma for tomorrow. So if any of those players don't perform today, including the goalkeeper, I'll just bring in Rulli. So that's how my team is looking like. How are your teams looking like as well? Navid, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Send in any questions you have. Let me take a look if the team has come out. Real Madrid usually put out the team is very, very early. As I said, it's not as busy as the group stage or the round of 16 or the quarterfinal because we only have 4 teams remaining. So I would expect everyone to have Benzema and expect at least 70% of the active players right now to have Salah and De Bruyne, at least one of them. And between the two of them, Salah and De Bruyne, I'd expect at least everyone to have at least one of them, nearly everyone who's active right now. So let me take a look at how the team is looking like for today. I don't know if Madrid has put out theirs. I will be the first one to look like. So in terms of captain as well, I've put a poll in the chat asking who are you captaining today? Are you going for Benzema away at Man City? Are you going for Vinicius? Are you going to go for De Bruyne playing at home to Real Madrid? Or are you looking for someone like Amares who's on penalties and stuff like that? So Real Madrid already put out their team news. I can just type it in here. I'll take a look at your team relaxing central. Evening, how are you? Sorry to be doing well. Let me just type in the team Real Madrid. Real Madrid, they put out the team news so early, like 2 hours before. The team news. Obviously, Courtois is starting, and no surprises there. I'm pretty sure Militao was suspended for one of the rounds. He's back now. I don't know if any of you have him in your team, Militao. So these guys already basically won the league. They're 1 point away from winning the league. I don't know if they'll rest players over the weekend so for the second leg, but they only need 1 point to win the league. I don't know if they're going to just try and win the league first and then concentrate on the Champions League. Militao is starting with Alaba and also Mendy at left back, so that is Real Madrid's team. In midfield, they have Kroos. Kroos is starting obviously with Modric. No Casemiro today. Interesting. So Kroos and Modric in midfield. Rodrigo starts today. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So if I hadn't made all my transfers, I'd consider Rodrigo in my team. So let's put Valverde there. I also have Valverde in my team. I think he'll play in midfield today. And then Rodrigo. Benzema. I'm sure Benzema will still be on penalties, but I think from the last 6-7 penalties he's taken, he's missed like 3 of them, including 2 in the same game the other day. Vinicius and Benzema. So that is Real Madrid's team. We'll be scrolling down the bottom. So for Real Madrid, they have Courtois, Carvajal, Alaba, Militao, and Mendy at the back. Kroos, Modric, and Valverde in midfield. And they've decided to go with Rodrigo from the start today with Vinicius and Benzema. On the bench, Camavinga, Isco, Ceballos, Bale, Lucas Vazquez, Casemiro, Marcelo Asensio, Nacho, Vallejo, and Lunin is their bench. I don't know if City have put out their team yet. So I'm pretty sure everyone has Benzema. Vinicius, does any of you have Vinicius? I have both of them in my team. I also have Valverde. If I had any spare transfers, I'd probably have preferred someone like a Rodrigo instead of Valverde from Real Madrid. But I mean, we didn't have too many transfers. We had 5 transfers this time, and we have 3 more for next time. I hope Real Madrid wins this match, and I think it will be 3-2 to Real Madrid against City. So they win away from home. That will be a big result for them. Real Madrid are very good. I would not be surprised if they reach the final, but I have a feeling City will not allow the Champions League to escape them a second time again. That will be horrific for them. So Man City have not yet put their team news out, so I don't know why, but we'll wait for that. First, Relaxing Central says I'm 27th in your league. Let me check. Let me know which position you are in the Everything Football League so I can take a look at how your team looks like or what I would do with your team, because I can't really take a look at how your team looks like because the deadline has not hit yet. In 7, relaxing central. There you are, CR7. So this is relaxing central's team. Lewandowski, obviously Lewandowski is out, so we need to take out Lewandowski. Obviously, Coman, Sane, Kimmich. You had really gone heavy on Bayern Munich, and probably who else went out? You already have Vinicius, Modric. I would keep them. I'd keep Salah, I'd keep Fabinho, and also keep Laporte. Cancelo is suspended, so that's another player short. And obviously, you need to change your goalkeeper. So I'd probably bring in Courtois for Mendy. I'd probably bring in Benzema for Lewandowski. I'd bring in De Bruyne for Sane. And then maybe Maris for Coman. I don't know how much money you have. I'd keep Cancelo on the bench because he'll be back for the second leg. So I'd not really bother taking out Cancelo at all. For me, I have him on my bench. So you can take out Mendy, Kimmich, Sane, Coman, and Lewandowski. Those should be your 5 transfers. And the players you have to get in are Benzema and De Bruyne. And then for the others, you could go for anyone you want. You could go for Rodrigo if you prefer getting someone differential like a Rodrigo. You could go for Cruz if you want. You could go for Mahrez. Let's wait for City's teams, and then if Foden is starting, you could go for Foden. But I think you need at least 3 Man City players. You only have one now with Laporte because Cancelo is suspended. For me, I've balanced it out. I have 4 Real Madrid. I have 3 Man City. I think I have 4 Liverpool. And I think I have 2 Villarreal. Plus Cancelo being suspended. So that's what I'll try to do. Let me know how your team is looking like. Relaxing essential. How are you, Martin? Hope you're doing well. I am good. Champions League season is almost over. Guess who topped your league in quarterfinal second leg? Let me see, Summit. Let me see. Quarterfinal second leg. So let's do this. Quarterfinal second leg. It's the Bernardo Silva team. Summit. Is it the Bernardo Goat Silva team? Let me just take a look at it. I hope that's your team. You captained Mount. That is just crazy. That's your team. Well done, man. I would never captain Mount away to Real Madrid. You have some guts. So if this is your team, I'd obviously take out Lewandowski for Benzema. You don't have any Real Madrid players. Interesting. I'm guessing you'd have to get. Let me see. It's me, the goat, the real goat, huh? So it's the real goat. So I definitely try and get in Benzema for Lewandowski, and then obviously you need to check out Ramos as well. You could bring in. Let's wait for City's teams, but I think you already have Laporte and Bernardo Silva. I'll still try and get in De Bruyne and Benzema. I think nearly everyone will have them for this week. Nearly everyone. Ederson, you already have Ederson. I missed him. So you already have 3 City players. So I'll try and get another City attack, and then probably 2 Real Madrid players as well. Liverpool, you have Trent. You also don't have Salah. So from Benzema, Salah, and De Bruyne, I think you need at least 2 of them this week, if not all of them, because nearly everyone will have them. And also, you'll get the cash because Sane is expensive. You can get money from him. Coman, Reece James as well, Mount as well, Kante. So how many of your players were eliminated? Lopez, James, Sane, Coman. That's 4, Pavard 5, Kante, Mount 7, 8. You have 9 players were eliminated. Interesting. What have you done with your team? Summit, how many players will you have for this week? Diaz, Bernardo, Laporte, Trent, Ederson. So you only have 5 players for this week, and after making 5 transfers, you have 10. You're actually the first team I've seen like that. I really do not like taking hits at all. Let's go to FPL. In FPL, I've played FPL for 6 years now. And I think of the 6 years, I've taken only 5 hits ever. I've never ever taken a -8. It's only -4s. And for the Champions League, I just don't like taking it. But in your situation, you only have 10 players after you make 5 transfers. So I don't know. You'd have to go without a backup goalkeeper. That's one. So you just have to keep Ederson in your team. That's what I'd do. For me, I'd go with 10 players. If you need 11, let me know what you've done with your team, Summit. Martin says Diaz or Militao. So Diaz from Liverpool. That's a striker or a defender. I hope that's who you mean. I don't think there's any other Diaz. So Diaz or Militao, I'd probably go for I'd go for Diaz because Diaz didn't start in the Premier League. Is the Champions League guy, and he's looking very much on form. And they have Villarreal at home, so I'd probably go with Diaz if you mean Diaz. Yeah, City's team is out. Thank you, Relax and Central. So let me just type it in. Let's change this. The City team. So City have Ederson in goal. Zinchenko at left back. I have Zinchenko in my FPL, by the way. Zinchenko, Laporte, Diaz. Stones is playing at right back. Okay, interesting. Rigo. That could be a potential good Vinicius weak point. Vinicius could go for Stones at right back. So I'm glad I have Vinicius in my team. De Bruyne, Bernardo, Ares is starting, obviously. Foden is starting again. And Gabriel Jesus has been rewarded. Wow, interesting. Gabriel Jesus scored 4 goals and 1 assist against Watford the other day. So he is starting. So if you want a differential and you've not made any of your forward transfers, you could go for Jesus. Jesus is a good option. Jesus is starting. So let's quickly go through both teams. Let's start with Real Madrid, scrolling down the bottom. Courtois, back four of Carvajal, Alaba, Militao, and Mendy. Kroos and Modric in midfield alongside Valverde, and then Rodrigo starts. I've not seen him starting in the Champions League for a while. Vinicius and Benzema as well. And then for Man City, they have Ederson. Zinchenko is starting, very cheap option there. Laporte, Diaz, and Stones in the back four. Rodrigo, De Bruyne, and Bernardo Silva. And then Maris, Foden, and Gabriel Jesus, just like Rodrigo. Another Brazilian you wouldn't have expected to start, but he is starting. So City actually playing with a striker today. But what I've seen with City, Jesus usually plays as a right wing and then Foden as a striker. So I would not be surprised if Maris plays on the right, Jesus on the left, and Foden as the striker. But after scoring 4 goals, I'm pretty sure he would still go for Jesus as a striker. So if you had striker problems and you don't want Vinicius, you already have Benzema, you could go for Gabriel Jesus. If you feel like De Bruyne is too expensive, let me just confirm how much Jesus is right now. On the bench, they have 2 goalkeepers, Stefan and Carson. They have Ake, Sterling is on the bench, Grealish is on the bench, Gundogan, Fernandinho, and a lot of youngsters as well on the bench. So let's go to Man City's team. Let's see. Sterling is on the bench. So Mahrez is 9.7. Stones is 5.8. The website has Stones as injured, but he's actually starting. Foden is 8.2. I'll try and get him if I didn't have him and I had transfers. And also Jesus is 8.6 million. So he's even cheaper than Vinicius. So if you feel like City is going to beat Real Madrid and you prefer Vinicius, if you prefer Jesus to Vinicius, go for it. And also if you don't want Diaz from Liverpool and you want Benzema, Vinicius, and a City player, you could go for Jesus. Let me see how much Rodrigo is from Real Madrid. Rodrigo is 8 million, is also rated as a forward. So I don't think you can go for 3 Real Madrid forwards, Benzema, Vinicius, and Rodrigo. So the question I have for you, how many City players are you going for today and how many Real Madrid players are you going for? That basically means you expect a certain team to win. Teza says Modric or Mane. I would go for Mane because Mane is playing against Villarreal at home and he's going to be further forward. Modric is like the creative guy in the middle, but I would not be surprised if he only got 1 goal today. He has the potential of getting other points like recovery points and stuff, but I think Mane against Villarreal, I think they'll put 3 past Villarreal tomorrow. So Diaz will start, Salah will start, Firmino is currently injured, so I think Mane will be the other, and I don't think Jota will start. It's my friend's account. I made it and gave him the best team. Crazy spirit. I'm 17th in your league, my actual team. I'll check out. Martin says, I've seen what you meant. Sorry for being late. No problem, Ray. So we have the team list for Real Madrid and Man City, both teams. Scrolling down the bottom, a couple of surprises. Rodrigo starts for Real Madrid and Jesus starts for Man City. So is any of you going for Jesus or Rodrigo? Let me know. Let me check how the poll is doing at the moment. I asked who is the best captain for tonight's game. Benzema, De Bruyne, Mahrez, or Vinicius Jr. 56% have said Benzema. He is on penalty, so he could be a better option, obviously, than De Bruyne. De Bruyne is on 22%, Myers and Vinicius both on 11%. Very, very interesting. I would go for Mane instead of Modric. Cesar. Let me check how much Mane is at the moment. Modric is 8.4 and Mane is 10.5. So Mane is expensive. Mane is very, very expensive. Now, it also depends on how the rest of your team looks like Teza. If you already have Salah and Diaz, I don't think there's any need of going with Mane as well. Or if you already have someone like Fabinho and Trent, Alexander-Arnold and Robertson, I don't think you have to go for Mane. You can try something different, like go for Modric if you don't have enough Real Madrid players. It just depends on the balance of your team. For me, I have Courtois, Valverde, Vinicius, Benzema. That is 4 Real Madrid players. I have Laporte, De Bruyne, and Bernardo Silva. That's 3 Man City players. Cancelo is suspended, so it should have been 4 Man City players. I have Robertson, Trent, Salah, and Diaz, so 4 Liverpool players. And I have Rulli and Danjuma, so that is 2 Villarreal players. So I'm happy with that. I think that is a good balance. Obviously, we saw last round you could go for 10. We could go for 5 Bayern Munich players, and then they go out, and then you're in a bit of trouble. Check my team 17. Okay, so I'm going to do that right now. There's no Lewandowski until the end. I remember you saying that scene. I thought you were crazy, but it worked out for you. I never forget. It worked out for you. I was like, there's another player you need to go with. Was it Salah? You know? So it says 17th. So let me check that. It doesn't really matter now, right, Sina? You don't really have to go with Lewandowski. He's not there. That was a surprise exit for me. 17th. So that is a win or booze. Summit, that's the team. Win or booze. That is a team. So Lewandowski, Benzema, Nunes, Salah, Bernardo Silva, Kante, Otamendi, Laporte, Rudiger, Kimmich. Those are a lot of players who've gone out already. So how many are those? Lewandowski, Nunes, Kante, Rudiger, Kimmich, Otamendi, Jorginho, Sane. Those are 8 players who've been eliminated. But you have how many playing players? You have Ederson and Rulli, so your goalkeeper situation is okay. You have Laporte. You have Laporte and Trent at the back. You have Salah, Bernardo Silva, Benzema. So I would try and get in. I'd go for Jesus actually. I'd go for Jesus as a differential. I'd go for him instead of Nunes in place of Nunes, and then I could probably go for Vinicius instead of Lewandowski. And then, or you could go for Diaz if you want a Liverpool player up front. Salah is not enough for you, so Diaz or Vinicius for Lewandowski, and then Jesus for Nunes. And then in midfield, N'Golo Kante could take him out and bring in maybe someone like a Foden. And then I'd go for a Real Madrid defender somewhere. So Otamendi could bring in someone like an Alaba or a Mendy for Otamendi to have a Real Madrid cover at the back. So for my team, I have. Shall I take the extra? Shall I take the extra -4 hits or keep 1 eliminated player for now? Keep one eliminated player, Ray. I don't think there's any need of any hits unless you have 10 players and not 11. So this is how my team looks, Ray. I still have an eliminated player. I've already made all 5 transfers, but I couldn't make 7th because I don't need any hits. So I have Mandava on my bench, an Atletico Madrid player, and Cancelo is suspended. So I think Rulli and Danjuma on the bench is fine. Anyone who gets like 1 point today can just take them out for Danjuma, and if Courtois doesn't really return anything, I can just bring in Rulli. If Laporte or De Bruyne get 3-4 points, I'll just keep them. No need for a change. So Cancelo will be back next game, so I don't think there's any need of taking them out. 17th in quarterfinal, second leg. Okay, so I understand now. That is more specific. I will check it. Team Sina. So second in quarterfinal, second leg. Wrong quarterfinal, second leg. We have around 1 hour before the game starts. By the way, what is your prediction for Real Madrid? Real Madrid Man City today? I am actually going to go for Man City 3, Real Madrid 2. Today's Summit's team, definitely Alexander the Great, interesting team name. I hope your team is as great as him. Benzema, Firmino, Vinicius. So you're okay up front. Mount obviously needs to go out. Joao Felix as well. Savic as well. Savic is an absolute criminal. You wanted to kill Grealish and Foden. You have Konate. I would keep him. He seems to be playing in the Champions League. I think he will start again. James obviously needs to go out. Havertz and Luis Lopez. And keep one goalkeeper. You can just keep Alisson. So how many players do you have right now? Valverde, you have Van Dijk, Alisson, Trent. You have a lot of Liverpool defenders. My goodness. Konate 5, Danjuma 6, Vinicius, Firmino, Benzema. So you have 9 players, so that is not bad enough. So you can actually take out the goalkeeper because you can afford it. I would take out Havertz for De Bruyne. I would take out Luis Lopez for a goalkeeper playing today, so probably Courtois. I would also take out Reece James for. I wouldn't go for another Liverpool defender. You already have Van Dijk, Konate, Alexander-Arnold. I'd probably go for a Laporte instead of James, so Man City defender. Mason Mount, I'd take him out and bring in a Foden or a Mahrez, whoever you like between those two summits, and also Joao Felix, I'd take him out and I'd try and go for a differential. You can go for a Fabinho if you want in midfield. If you want another Liverpool player, you could. I think you'll have enough cash because of Havertz and James cost a lot. If you take them out, you will have enough cash. Let me know, but go for get a Real Madrid defender, get a Man City defender as well in your team. My team is 8th. Let me check your team, Sina. Eight. It's the Savaran, right? I hope this is the team. You are very high, Sin. I hope that is your team. Oh, this team doesn't have Lewandowski. This is definitely your Sin. I don't even have to ask you. This team doesn't have Lewandowski. No, this is you. So Benzema, Mola obviously needs to go out. So you can take out Mola. If you want a differential, I would go for Gabriel Jesus, although you still have De Bruyne and Mahrez already. You only have one Real Madrid player, so I'd try and get at least 4 Real Madrid players. I would go for Vinicius instead of Mola. So Vinicius for Mola, and then Loftus-Cheek obviously needs to go out. Then I would bring in someone like a Modric, and then Cancelo, I'll just leave him on the bench. He will be back for the second leg. Laporte obviously keep Rudiger, take out and bring in a Real Madrid defender, maybe Mendy or Alaba, whoever you want. Alaba scored the other day in La Liga. And Militao is back now. Depends if you want Militao. I would go for Alaba. Pavard, I'd take him out as well. And I'll definitely go for Alexander-Arnold. You need Alexander-Arnold in your team. Or if you prefer Robertson, can also work. Both of them basically do the same thing. They both take corners. They both take free kicks as well. So that's what I'd do with your team. Goalkeeper-wise, you're okay. Just make sure you start Courtois today and bring in Alisson tomorrow if Courtois doesn't perform. So that's what I'd do, Sina. Just to recap, get in Vinicius for Mola, or if you want a differential, you can go for Rodrigo for Mola. I would bring in, take out Loftus-Cheek for Modric. I would take out Rudiger for Real Madrid defender, and I would take out Pavard for Trent Alexander-Arnold. And then for the 5th sub, you're basically free to do anything you want. You only have 2 weeks remaining, so if you're trying to catch up, like right now in the league, let me check how many points you are off the top. 780. So that is 49 points off the top. Sina, if you feel like you can finish maybe around the top 3 or something, you can go for differentials. Not many people will have Rodrigo or Jesus. And if you have the guts, you can even bring in Jesus and captain him if you want to go differential. If it doesn't work out, you still have the Liverpool fixture for tomorrow. So it depends what your target is. If you want to finish as high as possible. Are you allowed to have 5 players from one team? Yes, relaxing central, yes. I'll bring up for you the rules. Go to the rules. So maximum number of players group stage, you're allowed only 3, round of 16, 4, quarterfinal 5. You're allowed as many as 6 right now, relaxing central, and then in the final, 8 players from one team. So you're allowed 6 players. So if you want to go for Trent, Robertson, Konate, Salah, Van Dijk, Mane from one team, it's great. But for me, I prefer to balance it out because you never know. If you go for all those Liverpool players and then Villarreal score 3-0 tomorrow, then in a bit of trouble. I am in 12th position in your league, says Ray. Let me check that. 12th position. Chicken winger. I've definitely seen that team before. Dev, I've definitely seen that team before. Chicken wingers FC. You already have Benzema and Vinicius, so take out Lewandowski and bring in Jesus there. Salah, Bernardo Silva, Weigl. Let's keep Weigl there first. Let's see if there's any expensive players we need to take out first. So I'll take out Kimmich and bring in a Real Madrid defender. So Alaba or Mendy, whoever you prefer. Alaba is playing at centre back, Mendy at left back. Laporte, Cancelo, keep Cancelo on the bench. Obviously, take out Thiago Silva. Would probably bring in. Let's see, how many Liverpool players do you have? Trent, Fabinho, Salah. You have 3 Liverpool players. So I'd be tempted to bring in Robertson for Thiago Silva to make it 4 Liverpool players. And then keep Cancelo on the bench. That's the first transfer. Take out Thiago Silva and Kimmich for a Real Madrid defender and a Liverpool defender. Those are 2 transfers. I would take out Neuer as well. Obviously, he's not there, and bring in a goalkeeper from tomorrow. You can bring in Rulli from Villarreal to have a different player from a different team. Those are 3 transfers, and then you can take out Lewandowski for Jesus. Those are 4 players, and then obviously Weigl. The 5th player could be anyone you want, Trey. Anyone. You could go for Fabinho. You could go for Modric from Real Madrid. If you want to go for Danjuma, I'd actually prefer someone like a Danjuma. You could go for Capo. He can get you the recovery points as well, Ray. So you can go for a couple of Villarreal players to be a bit different. Hope that helps, Ray. Ray says 2-1 to Real Madrid. Hala Madrid. Only taking W's. Nice to see you. Asking Stones or Zinchenko or Diaz. Stones at right back, I think he'll definitely pick up a yellow card against Vinicius if that helps. I think he'll definitely be given the runaround. Zinchenko, I wouldn't go for him because we don't know if he's going to start the second leg. I think Walker will be back. So I would go for Diaz. I would go for Diaz because I know he's going to play in the first leg and in the second leg. And you only have 3 transfers next match day. So I'll try and save those not making too many differential picks. 1 or 2 is enough, not too many. So Zinchenko is part of a differential pick. Jesus is part of a differential pick. Rodrigo is part of a differential pick. I would go for Diaz because we are sure it's going to start next time. Sina says my plan is to buy Capo, Foden, Jesus, Konate, Raul, Albiol. Good, Jesus or Rodrigo. I would go for Jesus. I would go for Jesus because Rodrigo is home next leg, but I will go for Jesus because they're at home today. That sounds good. Foden, Jesus are 2 Man City players. Capo is a Villarreal player. Konate has been scoring goals. That's great. And also you have a Villarreal player in Raul Albiol. That sounds good, Sin. That's good. Go for it. Arnold, how are you? Nice seeing you again. Hi, Glenn. How is it going? Made my transfers already, but you can look at my estimated team, 20th in the league. I got you, Arnold. Let's go to 20th in the league. No, that's last minute. Your team is called last minute. Oh yeah, it's decimated team. Yeah, it really does look like a decimated team. James is gone. Carson is on the bench, but he'll never play. Vlacho is gone. Cancelo suspended. Lucas Hernandez, Musiala, Sane is gone. Lewandowski is gone, Muller is gone. Yeah, that's a lot of players. So what I would do, I know you've already made your transfers, Arnold. I'd probably take out Lewandowski for Vinicius, take out Muller for Jesus. I'd probably take out Sane for De Bruyne, and probably take out Lucas Hernandez for someone like an Alaba from Real Madrid. I'm interested to know what you've done with your team, Arnold. Either if you're just joining, hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. Ask Dravidan, how are you, man? Nice seeing you again. How are you? I don't think Real have much chance in front of City. I think Benzema is enough. Sina says. Now I think there'll be like 5 goals today. I'm going for a 3-2, so that means there'll be a lot of goals according to me. Let's see. Ray says I'll save Weigl, so yeah, you can just leave him on the bench if you have 5 transfers to make for the next leg. Totally understandable. Sina says will Konate start? I mean, he's been playing in the Champions League game, so if I was to read Klopp's mind, I'm going to say 80% yes, he's going to start. In the final, though, if they make the final, then you have to think if they're going to bring in Matip instead of him. But first leg at home against Villarreal, Konate has been scoring goals. He did well against Man City in the Carabao Cup semi-final. I think Konate will start. Anel says I brought in Jesus, Mane, Diaz, De Bruyne, Konate, and Robertson. Those are four. Wait, those are four Liverpool players. You made 6 transfers. I understand that, Anel, because the team had a lot of Bayern Munich players. So the only way you can go for a minus or a point seat is if you had only 9 players after making 5 transfers. If you had gone for so many Chelsea and Bayern Munich players, then it's understandable if you take like a minus for that's understandable. But for me, I'd even be enough with 10 players. 10 players, if you don't have a goalkeeper, I'd keep the 10 players. Ray says, let's hope we win. That's a Real Madrid fan. So keep on sending your predictions. Let me see what you have so far. Ray said 2-1 to Real Madrid. We saw the predictions up top. Let's see. Yeah, Navid says, I hope Real Madrid wins this match. I think it will be 3-2 to Real Madrid. So far, a couple of people are expecting Real Madrid to win. I put the poll, and 53% saying Benzema is the best captain for today. 18% are saying De Bruyne, 18% are saying Mahrez, 12% are saying Vinicius. So what you need to keep in mind, Benzema is on penalties, Mahrez is on penalties, but Benzema has been missing a lot of penalties recently. So I don't know if that will put you off a bit. I think Vinicius is a bit of a risk. I think Benzema is the one who's going to get the goals if they score. But when Benzema scores, Vinicius is the one who's assisting. So that's what is interesting. I hope I've taken a look at your team enough, Arnold. So for me, as I said, you can balance it out. For me, I have 3 Man City players playing today. I have 4 Real Madrid players playing. Tomorrow, I have 4 Liverpool players and probably 2 Villarreal players if Courtois doesn't perform, or if anyone in the starting 11 doesn't perform. So I've made 5 transfers. I have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 players. Let's imagine Liverpool and Man City go through to the final. That means I will have Cancelo. I think you're allowed 5 transfers in the final, if I'm not wrong. I think it's 5 transfers. I think you're allowed 5, but we are a long way to go, by the way, before we hit the final. Anyway, we need to go through the second leg next week first. So you're allowed 5 transfers before the final. So that's how it is. No problem, Arnold. You're welcome. So we have around 50 minutes before the game starts. As I said, it's not as busy as obviously the round of 16 of the group stage because we are looking at so many teams. We are just looking at a couple of teams here. So I'm still thinking about the captaincy. I feel like De Bruyne at home is great. Benzema is going to play 90 minutes. Same with De Bruyne. Bernardo Silva probably not. Valverde probably not. So I think De Bruyne and Benzema are the only choices. And then if you want a differential, you could go for it. I think Mahrez could be a differential. Let me see how many people on De Bruyne at the moment. 12% only. Interesting. Benzema is way higher than that, I'm pretty sure. 31% on Benzema. How many on Salah? 45% on Salah. That's a lot. So if you don't have Salah, it's a bit of a risk tomorrow. He's on penalties. If he scores, you're going to be in a bit of trouble, especially if Benzema and De Bruyne don't perform today. And then tomorrow, people will be switching their captains to Salah. If you don't have Salah, you might be in a bit of trouble. Robertson is owned by 9%, so it's a bit of a differential. Alexander-Arnold is owned by 39%. So Alexander-Arnold and Salah are the ones who are owned by a lot of people. Diaz is owned by 13%. Danjuma is currently owned by only 10%. So I think the must-haves, for me, the must-haves are Salah, De Bruyne, and Benzema, and then for the others, you can go for anyone. Sunny says 3-2 Man City, all grace to God Silva. I'm going for 3-2 Man City as well. And then I'm actually going to go for 3-2 Real Madrid, the other leg, so I can see extra time. If we conquer at the Etihad, Bernabeu should be easy, but let's see, says Ray. Now, I don't know. I know Real Madrid have been very good. I know they're only 1 point away from winning La Liga, but I have a feeling that if Liverpool make the final, and Real Madrid make it, I have a feeling Liverpool will win it this time. I know Real Madrid beat Liverpool in the final in 2019, but Liverpool are just way too strong, like way too strong. Like the way I saw Real Madrid playing against Chelsea in the second leg, Chelsea could have had like 5 goals. Liverpool probably scored those. Ray says could be possible. Silva has been phenomenal this season. He has, but I actually do have him in my FPL team still, but he's really disappointed me. Like since January, February, March, he never scored 1 goal in the Premier League, Bernardo Silva. All that time I had him in my team and he never scored 1 goal. Anel says Benzema doubled today. De Bruyne might score, but I think Jesus might be the bigger threat today. The thing is, Jesus would play 90 minutes. He'll probably play like 65 and get taken off for Sterling. I'll not be surprised if that happens. De Bruyne will probably play every single minute today. So you also need to be careful. If you want a player who's going to play every single minute today, Valverde is not the one, Rodriguez is not the one. I expect both of them to be subbed for Real Madrid and expect Jesus and Bernardo Silva to be subbed for Man City. De Bruyne will play 90, Benzema will probably play 90. Ray says Captain Valverde will score 100 goals today. I have him in my team, but I think that is too much. I think that would be too much hoping. Sina says Raul Albiol or Real Madrid defender. It depends. If you don't already have a Real Madrid defender, I would go for him. And for me, I don't need Raul Albiol because I already have Rulli in goal. So from that, I'd go for Real Madrid defender. And then if I need a second playing goalkeeper, I'd go for Rulli. Both will concede, but go for recovery of goal threat. Yeah, both will concede, but I think Man City will be attacking a lot. I know Liverpool will be attacking a lot tomorrow as well, but I can see Villarreal picking up yellow cards tomorrow, for example, and there's a chance they could concede more than 2 goals. I don't think Madrid will concede like 4 goals or something crazy today. Liverpool have the opportunity of scoring 4 goals tomorrow, but I don't think Man City will score 4 goals today. If Man City score 4 goals, then they'll probably win the Champions League. So I would go for Real Madrid defender and goalkeeper from Villarreal. Rene, how are you? Is it Rene or Rene? I know Rene is a double E, so it could be Rene Lopez. Foden or Modric? I would go for Foden because they're at home and he's going to play further forward. So I wouldn't be surprised if Jesus plays on the left and Foden as a striker. And I expect Man City to score more goals today. Relaxing Central says, I'm surprised that not many people go for 6 Liverpool players. Surely they'll go through and win against Villarreal. There's a chance, but Villarreal have eliminated both Bayern Munich and Juventus, so they've definitely done something right. And also, you need to be careful. As you saw from Sina's team, Sina in the chat, he had like a lot of, was it Sina? No, it wasn't Sina, it was Arnold who had a lot of Bayern Munich players. Sina doesn't like Lewandowski this season. And he was right because they went out. Arnold had a lot of Bayern Munich players and Chelsea players, and when they went out, you're having to make a lot of taking a lot of hits to make your transfers. So I'd try and balance it out. Relaxing Central, it just depends on you. If you want to go for Liverpool and Man City players, if you think both of them are going to make the final, that is okay. You don't have to make any transfers next leg and in the final. But for me, I just prefer to balance it out. I still have 4 Liverpool players just to balance it out, just in case Rulli saves a penalty from Salah. I balance out the points. And also, it is more interesting watching players from different teams as well, if you own all of them. I do understand. Liverpool are the favorites to go to the finals. So I do understand. Ray says we all think. So, how many of you have more than 4 Liverpool players? 5 or 6 of them in your team. We all think that, but who knows? Anything can happen. Yep. They just defeated Bayern Munich and Juventus as well. Villarreal are doing quite okay. So for me, 4 Liverpool players is enough. I don't think Jota will start. Firmino is currently an injury doubt, so I think that is a bit risky. So the only players I might add to my team if I was going for another Liverpool player would probably be Mane or Van Dijk. I'm not a huge Konate will start, but I wouldn't take a differential risk. I already have a couple of differentials, the likes of Valverde, so I wouldn't go for another one. And Cancelo will be back for the second leg, so I wouldn't take him out this time. I also need to sort out the Mandava issue at the back. But I do understand if there's a team you can go for 4, 5, 6 players, it is Liverpool, Relaxing Central. Sina says I have Jesus, De Bruyne, Mahrez. Is it too much to go more with Foden or Goethe? Yeah, I would say it's a bit too much. I don't think Real Madrid will concede 4 goals or something. So I think Jesus, De Bruyne, Mahrez is enough, and then you get another City defender, maybe one, and then 4 players is enough. The other, instead of Foden, you can then go for Modric. If that is your team, then you can go for Modric instead of Foden in midfield. I think Foden is a bit with Jesus and De Bruyne and Mahrez is a bit too much. Remember, the game could easily be 1-1. Zinchenko could easily score, and the game is 1-1 until the 60th minute, and then Jesus gets subbed off, the Mahrez gets subbed off, Foden gets subbed off, and it's a disaster. So I try and balance it out. So I think four players for my team is enough. As I said, they have 4 Liverpool players, 3 Man City players, 4 Real Madrid players, and 2 Villarreal players. If you to add Cancelo, who's suspended, they have 4 Man City players. Next time, Villarreal at home, I'd probably get in another Villarreal player or Mandava or something, and then I'd probably go for someone like. It depends on the results. If Liverpool lose this game 2-1 tomorrow, then I'll probably go with another Liverpool attacker next time because they will need to attack. If Real Madrid lose 2-0 today, then I'll probably go with another Real Madrid attacker knowing they have to score. Thank you guys for joining in. By the way, if you're new, make sure to subscribe. Relaxing Central says, I'm thinking of Robertson, Van Dijk, Trent, Salah, Robertson. Why? I mean, Relaxing Central loves Liverpool so much, he wants to go for Robertson twice. Robertson, Van Dijk, Trent, Salah, Robertson again, and maybe Thiago. So also Robertson, Van Dijk, Trent, Salah, Thiago, and I'm guessing you meant maybe a Konate or someone, or a Mane. Let me know who's the 6th player because you've repeated Robertson. Yeah, I would definitely love to have Robertson twice in my team. He is crazy. I think he's picked up the most FPL points out of anyone since January, if I'm not wrong. He's really good. Robertson, I'm happy to own it. Trent with Salah as well. Thiago. I don't know how many games Thiago can start because Henderson didn't play the other day for Liverpool. He came on. I'm pretty sure he's going to start this time. That could be because Kate is going to be on the bench. It's a bit hard to know. So Van Dijk is a bit extra, but I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet. I think Villarreal will score. Benfica managed 2-3 goals against them last time. They could have had 4 or 5 with the disallowed goals. So Liverpool could easily concede 2 goals as well. I would not be surprised if that game ends in a 3-2 as well. Fabinho. So Robertson, Van Dijk, Trent, Fabinho, Salah. My goodness. That is a bit too much Relaxing Central. I wouldn't go for Thiago. I'd go for a Modric or a Man City player. 5 is enough. If you want to go more than 4, 5 is enough. I think 6 is a bit too much. Keep Robertson, Van Dijk, Trent, Salah, and Fabinho. I think Thiago is a bit too much. And also Thiago won't play 90 minutes. So I would go for something different. Sina says Mane worth buying. Again, it depends. If you already have Salah and Diaz, I wouldn't go for Mane. But if you only have Salah, then I would get Mane in as well. Okay, so you have Diaz already, no money for Salah. So if you don't have any money for Salah, you can go for Mane. I don't think it covers for Salah because Salah has the penalties as well. I don't think it does cover for it, but just to prevent too much hurt, you can go for Mane. Too much damage. So Mane Diaz could help you out. I think Diaz will start. No money for Salah. Now Salah is 100% guaranteed to start, and say Mane is 80%. De Bruyne, Mahrez, Capoue, and Juma, my other 4. That sounds good to me. At least you've gone for the Villarreal players. I would go for 2 Villarreal players. I wouldn't go for more than 2. I think that's a good balance. 4 City players, 4 Liverpool players, 4 Real Madrid players, and maybe at most 2 Villarreal players. And then for the extra one, if you didn't have enough transfers and you had someone who was already eliminated last time, you can have them on the bench. But if you have enough transfers to take them out, you can obviously then go for a 5th Liverpool player if you feel like they're going to win. Or if you believe in Villarreal, you could go for 3 Villarreal players, including their goalkeeper. So let me go through my team one more time. Courtois and Rulli as my goalkeepers, so today and tomorrow. Laporte, Robertson, and Alexander-Arnold as my only defender, so I'm not able to take out any of my defenders. So if Laporte doesn't perform today, I have to keep him anyway because I don't have any defenders to come from the bench. In midfield, I do have someone who can come in if De Bruyne Bernardo Silva, Valverde don't perform, I can bring in Danjuma. Salah is already there as well. Benzema, Vinicius, if they don't perform, Danjuma can come in. And Luis Diaz can also play tomorrow. So this time round, as we don't have, I don't know about you, but I don't have too many players on the bench. You only have two. So what I mean by if he doesn't perform, I mean 1 point. If any of these players get 1 point, then I'll take them out. If they get 2 or 3 players, I'll just keep them. Unless everyone gets more than 2 points, then I can just take out anyone who's picked up 2 points. And then I'd wait to make the substitutes tomorrow because you never know. Danjuma could start on the bench. You just never know. So if any of your players get 3 points, 4 points, and you don't have anyone on the bench, that should be good. Just take out the ones who are on 1 point and 2 points. So I'm hoping most of my players get more than 2 points. This week, getting 3 points is not that bad because there's not too many teams playing. Let's say Benzema gets 6 points, Vinicius gets 4. Let's say De Bruyne gets 6. Let's say Bernardo Silva gets 3. Valverde probably gets 3 as well. Laporte probably gets 4. Courtois probably gets 3. That would sound good. I'd probably just go with the one who's gotten 2 as a substitute. I can see all of these players getting more than 2, but I could easily see Courtois getting a 1 or Laporte getting a 1 or a 2 because of the yellow cards and stuff and the goals conceded. So we have around less than 40 minutes before the game starts. Can I check my team for next week? Not yet. So next week, what I'd be looking to do, as I said, take out Mandava, the goalkeeper. And then I'd probably bring in someone like an Alaba from Real Madrid. And then the other two, I'll probably just wait and see. The results will definitely help. I will do a reaction tomorrow. I could post I think the fixtures are next week. 26th April, 3rd May. So yeah, the video for match day 12, the semi-final second leg will be out on Wednesday night. Like after Villarreal, Liverpool play tomorrow, like 3 hours later. I will post that video to help you guys plan early with my reaction on that video as well. My final thinking, Mane or Modric? Mane. Let me check if I can get the rest of the team. You had said earlier that my plan is to get Capo, Foden, Jesus, Konate, Raul Albiol. I don't think Real have much of a chance against City, so I was seeing as opinion, will Konate start? I'm seeing what you're thinking. Raul Albiol or Madrid defender. I have Jesus, De Bruyne, Mars. Is it too much to go with Foden? I would go with Mane because I know you don't have Salah, so I would go with Mane. I would go with Mane. Mane is my decision. He's 10 point something, right? 10.4, 10.5 around there. I would go for Mane. Modric is cheaper, but Mane playing at home against Villarreal, as relaxed as Central said, and he still expects Liverpool to win, so I think it's better to go for Liverpool players. My prediction for the games, predictions. Just type in what are your predictions. Let me just type in my predictions first. Man City, Real Madrid, and Liverpool, Villarreal. What are my predictions? What are you? My predictions are Man City to beat Real Madrid 3-2 today. And then Liverpool to beat Villarreal 3-1 tomorrow. So that will put the English teams, they'll give the English teams advantage. And then next week, I don't think Liverpool will win at Villarreal next week. And I don't think City will win at Real Madrid next week. Let's see. In terms of the poll, 23 votes, Benzema 52%. Benzema well ahead of everyone else. De Bruyne 26, Maris 13, Vinicius 9. City love having a quick start at home, so I'm hoping to see that today. I will go for 1 hour in this video. Hope I've helped all you guys out. I don't think there'll be any late changes in the teams. We've recently been seeing a lot of late changes in the teams. So this week, I'd say the best points to get, I'd be targeting around 60. I think 60 wouldn't be too bad this week. Last week, the average is around 50 or something. Like the highest had like 67, 70s. I don't think anyone had above 100. I'm definitely happy with the team. So I've seen some people going without Salah. I've seen a few people going without Benzema. A bit risky. But let's see how it works out. Let me check the league standings. It's 200 of you on everything football. So Anafi has 829. Jain has 818. Dwayne has 814. Boros has 808. So 4 people have reached 800 so far. Mahan has 796. My target is to get top 20 here, around top 20. I'm trying to remember which position I finished last season. I think it could have been like 800 in the world. I don't think I'll get to that this time. Check. Number 1 in the world has 881. He has a 13-point gap. If I can get to we have 3 match days remaining. I know in the final, I'm sure people will have the same players. So I'll be targeting like a top 10,000 finish. I know where, and my team has actually been okay, but I know the week that cost me. I'll just show you the week that cost me. So in match day, last match day, 52 points wasn't that bad. Quarterfinal 164 points as well wasn't that bad. And I got 94 points back to back in the round of 16. And I got 64 points again in match day 6. And I got 100 points in match day 4. This was the match day that cost me. Match day 5, I'll never forget. I'm sure that people who had like 80 points, and this is where I dropped off. I think I was like 2,500 in the world, and after this week, I dropped to like 30,000 or something, just like that. So because I had Vinicius as captain, I changed my captain from Lewandowski to Vinicius. That cost me. Miles didn't perform, Cancelo didn't perform, Danjuma didn't perform, and then people had the likes of, I think this is the week that, I think it was Salah or someone who did very well and I didn't own him. It was a terrible week. So match day 5 probably cost me. But after the Champions League season is over, we'll be doing more tips that will help even for next season for the Champions League and put out the content during the summer. Like how to use your chips, when to use your chips. I know a lot of people usually ask that. We're about to get to 1 hour, around 30 minutes to go before the game starts. So thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. Captaincy, I think I'll just stick with De Bruyne, although 52% are going with Benzema. I prefer City at home. As usual, I will be posting my subs in this particular video. So if you want to ask any questions, you can just comment in this particular video after we are done with the stream, whether it's later on tonight or tomorrow, just depends. I will answer you in terms of which subs you should be making and stuff like that. Thank you guys for watching. You're waiting for 1 hour and then we can call it a day. So thank you, Sina. Thank you, Relaxing Central, Ray, Lopez, Arnold, Summit, Dravidan as well, only taking W's, Martin, Cesar, hope I didn't forget someone, Navid. Thank you everyone for watching. I really appreciate it. Peter Peters says, hi Glenn, what is the better combo? Militao plus Ederson, so that's Real Madrid defender plus Man City goalkeeper, or Courtois and Stones. I would go Militao and Ederson. I think Stones will be given the run around today with Vinicius on that left side. And we're not guaranteed to see Stones in the second leg because Walker might be back and then Cancelo will be back as well. But Ederson will definitely start next game and Militao will definitely start next game. And I don't think Stones is guaranteed to start next game if that helps, Peter. So I will go for Ederson and Militao as the option. For me, I do have Courtois as my goalkeeper though. We have less than 30 minutes before the game starts. Really, really huge game. Real Madrid, Man City, Champions League semi-final. We can't depend on this guy anymore. He is gone. No more Lewandowski. But we can depend on these guys, Benzema and Vinicius. Next, we can depend on Salah. Hopefully, we can depend on Trent as well. Let's hope Courtois can save a penalty from Mahrez if possible. And Jota will probably come on in the second half tomorrow. Or he could start, I don't know. Cancelo will be back for the second leg. Let's hope Danjuma can do something crazy as well. Let's see how it goes. So going to end it there, guys. Let's plan for the game. Any questions, any more questions you have for the last 30 minutes, you can just comment on this video. I really appreciate you watching. That was a good one. We've been live every single Champions League deadline date, and we will be back again next week. But I will have a video tomorrow, the reaction to this match day, and the team selection video for match day 12. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next